How about that North Korea, though?
Ooh, that's a scary place.
Yeah, it is. Have you ever heard the stuff that they believe about Kim Jong Un?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah, most of the people in North Korea are actually relatively. You might call them atheistic because they really are taught to worship the leader as a supernatural deity.
Oh,
Yeah, like
okay.
I'll look up real quick. I'll look up some of the specific stuff, but like before Kim Jong Un, his father,
Kim Jong Il.
yeah, Kim Jong Il, and then his father before him, there was all these lies about them, like that the first time he ever went golfing, Kim Jong Il, he got like 17 out of 18 holes in one or something like that.
Huh.
And like the people really believe this stuff. And then there was that one on the that movie that they said they were going to start a war with us over with James Franco.
The interview, yeah.
The interview. Yeah, in that one they mentioned this the one that he doesn't poop, Kim Jong Un. Kim Jong Un doesn't have to poop.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, and then of course North Korea totally took the bait and they were like, "This is an act of war. You cannot mock our supreme leader this way." And then they didn't do anything because they would get destroyed.
Yeah, that's true. There was a YouTuber. His name's Louis Tomlinson, I think. His first name's Louis, but he actually did a tour of North Korea and taped the whole thing.
Yeah, I've seen those. I saw one for this show called Vice where they went to. Have you seen all those pictures of Kim Jong Un with that basketball player Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Okay, so those pictures were from this episode of this show called Vice, which is kind of like that CNN show 60 Minutes. It's sort of like a little mini documentary about current issues and stuff. But anyways, these guys did this special episode where they got to go to North Korea, and they had these people following them the whole time and telling them what they could and couldn't record and things like that. And then they went to this. Well, the tour guides and stuff were told to show them all these things that were really, really poorly veiled attempts to try and trick them into thinking that North Korea was this glorious country where everyone has access to the internet and stuff. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. That's pretty much what they did with that guy too.
yeah, so they brought them to this computer lab, and there's probably at least 30 people on the different computers. And then the narrator and the host goes, "We realized in horror that there were no clicking sounds. And when we looked at what the people were looking at on the computers, most of them were just on blank web pages, scrolling or moving the mouse around. And we were instructed to talk to one person who seemed to know what he was doing. And he told us that he was working on some papers, some scientific papers or something like that. But the rest of them, something like 30 of them, were just moving the mouse around on a blank Google search engine screen.
Yeah,
Creepy."
yeah, that's crazy.
And then they brought this basketball team called the Harlem City Globetrotters with them to North Korea, sort of as like it was really meant to be a journalistic piece, and they brought those basketball players as sort of a ruse to cover that up to some degree, to be like, we just want to come play basketball with you guys, because Kim Jong Un and his father loved basketball and loved whichever team it was that Dennis Rodman played for.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't remember.
I can't remember off the top of my head either.
So they brought this world-class basketball team, and they were going to play against the best of the best North Koreans and stuff. And then it got crazy when they went to this final thing, this basketball game that was supposed to be the end of their trip. And all of a sudden, there's like this roaring applause, and they look up in the bleachers, and Kim Jong Un himself is walking into the stadium. And he comes down, and he sits down next to Dennis Rodman. And everybody's kind of like terrified because, you know, they're gonna play it cool, but like you're starting to get to a kind of scary situation where you could pretty easily get your head chopped off or whatever.
Oh yeah.
If you look at him wrong or something like that, so everybody's pretty nervous. So then they play basketball, and everybody seems to be having a good time. And then Dennis Rodman gets up and does this speech about how he's really sorry that the U.S. and North Korea aren't on better terms, and he told Kim Jong Un that he said, "You have a friend for life."
Oh wow.
And then everybody cheered and stuff. But yeah, it was just really trippy because I was just watching this documentary thinking it was going to be, they were just going to go and report on how weird it was, but then it ended up being this like terrifying thing where this rarely seen hermit-like ruler actually appeared, and everybody pretty much peed their pants.
Yeah.
But I mean, one thing that's interesting about that whole thing is how we have all these. The United States is really quick to jump on certain countries and stuff for the way they treat their people, but with North Korea, it's been going on for a long time. It's one of the worst humanitarian situations in the world as far as suppression of the people and living conditions and famine and cruel dictatorship and punishments and labor camps that don't fit the crime and such. And we're really quick to help other countries, but there's not even a discussion about doing anything there. And no one seems to, it doesn't even seem to be a question that anyone, I've never heard anyone even discuss the idea of intervening there.
Oh yeah, there's really no plans that I've heard of ever trying to.
Why is that? Why is it that in some places we're like, oh, Saddam Hussein is the devil, he's got to go?
Well, I mean, I remember vaguely hearing something about, because North Korea has strong ties with China, and the U.S. doesn't want to get involved with them in fear of China allying themselves with North Korea.
I don't know, though, because North Korea is nicknamed the Hermit Kingdom because they are so drawn away. They've totally alienated themselves. They've made all these empty threats that they can't keep, and they're sort of on their own and paying the price because of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
I don't. I guess I'm not really qualified to say that you're wrong. I don't know.
Neither of us are qualified to.
I mean, China.
Really.
I think China and North Korea are both kind of opportunists, because I feel like they both. Obviously, I really doubt they give a crap about each other, but if they could have some sort of beneficial partnership that they could maybe bully the U.S. together a little bit. I know Russia is saying they're with China now.
Yeah.
So there's two superpowers that don't like us. So that's kind of dangerous. But I saw a video about it was a hypothetical video. It was who would win, the US versus North Korea. The premise of the video was based on numbers mostly,
Yeah.
and it was like North Korea has this number of soldiers, North Korea has this number of airplanes, this number of ships, this number of guns, this number of nuclear. They have somewhere between a maximum of like 4 and 8 nuclear warheads, and we have like 5,500 on standby.
Ooh.
So it's not even like they're a little bit of a threat.
No, not at all.
And that video also said that the U.S. feels pretty confident that even if they were to launch a nuclear weapon, they don't have the self-guiding missile system or whatever that would take a nuclear bomb all the way to the West Coast. They don't think they'd be able to get it across the Pacific Ocean. So
yeah, I don't think at this point they'd be able to either.
It's not like they're really like.
I remember like a few years ago they did like a test launch over there, and it didn't make it as far as they wanted to see how far they could get a rocket to go.
I wanted to just blow up accidentally right there and have North Korea be like a giant nuclear fallout, and then have Kim Jong Un make something up to all the people there who live there, and probably say that probably blame it on us or something.
Yeah, I mean, I could see something like that happening if
those
if
people who live there really think that you and I are like pure evil and want them dead, and that they're a superior race. On that episode of Vice, they went up to this lady, or maybe it wasn't Vice, but I saw something where these journalists went up to a lady in North Korea and asked how she felt about Obama, and she said that if she were in the room with him and she had a gun, she would shoot him. Because they've been...
Oh, wow.
Because they think that we're at... They think that they've been at war with us for, like, as long as they can remember. And so the government demands that they give up, like, a certain amount of their possessions to support this war that's not happening. Well, it's really actually just going to Kim Jong Un, and like make them go work at factories for free to quote help with the war effort. They use the war as like a propaganda talking point to make them do all these things and give away all their what little they have.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Why aren't we helping them?
That's actually a better question.
I mean, it's not like we're gonna solve the holy war.
No, we're definitely not going to.
Over in the desert, those people will never stop. They will always find a way to say, "Hey, we're both Muslims, but you guys don't eat on Thursdays and we don't eat on Fridays, so therefore we're gonna have to kill each other."
Yeah.
They'll always find a way to call it something else and divide it up. I just heard that just recently ISIS made it illegal for people to like feed pigeons or something because they don't want pigeons around because it's offensive to Islam to see pigeon genitals flying overhead. Man, these people have really great eyesight.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That. Wow.
I mean, how far do you want to take it?
Oh, they'll take it as far as they have to.
No, for real. It's like they went... One of them saw another woman one day and went... Here's what I'm guessing happened. They were attracted to some woman they couldn't have, and they went, "Oh God, that is just too painful. If I can't have it, I don't want to look at it." And then they went into a Walmart and they bought a giant black roll of fabric and just started wrapping women up in that stuff, and then eventually just started making them into burqas. Oh, I was gonna look up myths that North Koreans believe about Kim Jong Un.
Oh, yeah.
This will be good.
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
10 myths that are facts in North Korea. Kim Jong Il invented the hamburger.
Oh, interesting. I mean,
Kim Jong Il had a supernatural birth. Move over, Jesus. Based on
Of
Kim
course he
Jong
did.
Il's official biography, he was born on Korea's most sacred mountain, Mount Baekdu. At the moment of his birth, a new star formed and illuminated the sky. The season suddenly changed from winter to spring, and a double rainbow appeared. Say it.
what does it mean?
Oh my god!
Oh my god, a double rainbow!
Do you give it a special name, like a double Kim? If it's Kim Jong Il related, I feel like it needs its own special name if it's related to the birth of the Supreme Commander.
He probably made a name for it, but it just didn't make it into the myths.
All right, Kim Jong Il is a fashion icon with that jumpsuit.
I
In
can believe it.
2010, the North Korean media decided that Kim Jong Il's fashion had taken the world by storm. The rest of the world knows that this never happened.
Oh, geez.
The world loved Kim Jong Il. North Korea has a particularly bad reputation in the world, but the North Koreans are oblivious of that fact. They are made to believe that North Korea is a phenomenally important country and that Kim Jong Il was the world's most powerful leader. Every country celebrated Kim Jong Il's birthday.
Wow.
And then that he invented the hamburger. Oh, and here's what I was telling you about before. Kim Jong Il was a master golfer. According to his biography, Kim Jong Il first picked up a golf club in 1994. Hey, 1994, holla. That's when I was born. At North Korea's only golf course. He shot a 38 under par round that included no fewer than 11 holes in one.
Wow.
And then it just says clap, clap.
Impressive.
Kim Jong Il never used a toilet, and I'm not making this up. It really says this. Seriously, his biography states that the leader never used a toilet. He apparently didn't need to urinate or defecate. Oh, and to add to his supernatural abilities, he could control the weather too.
Well, yeah.
Like, if you're making up stuff that you want to make you seem cool, why would you even bring up, like, whether or not you use the bathroom? Like, the weather thing I get, that's kind of cool. Like, I'd be like, whoa, I better not mess with this guy. But, like, the bathroom thing just makes me think about you using the bathroom.
Except he never had to, so.
It still just makes me think about it. And then it just brings up so many questions that all of a sudden it's all I can think about.
Well, the world may never know.
We really will never know. The Japanese stole time. North Koreans believe that during the occupation by Japanese imperialists in 1919, time was stolen. In 2015, Kim Jong Un decided enough is enough. North Korea set its clock back by 30 minutes on August 15th. Victory!